I've been going through some things over the past month on this side of the camera, and you wouldn't know that from just watching my videos. But what I want to do in this video is I just want to open up a bit and share a bit about my faith journey during this time. For those of you who are familiar with my videos, many of you will know that I've gone through chronic illness. I've gone through protracted withdrawals which have led to long-term effects, and that I've gone through heartbreak and loss and suffered much, largely a result of the chronic illness. And I think it would be fair to say that I feel like I've had more than my fair share of sufferings. It feels like whenever something seems to have a breakthrough and turn around, something else seems to happen. And over the last month, something's happened that has been really painful and really challenging for me. And rather than focusing on what's happened at this time, I want to talk about my faith journey in the midst of this. There's just been so much processing, so much thinking, so much crying out to God and thinking, God, how do I do my faith journey in the midst of this? How do I take the next step forward? What does that even look like? And I'm someone that has a high tolerance for suffering. I've been through a lot. I've come through a lot. And I've experienced it at many times, a lot of peace and joy, unspeakable, in the midst of suffering and coming through some suffering. But over the last month, it's been hard. It has been really painful. And I've just been crying out to God. I've been crying tears. I've been speaking out words. I've just forced myself to go and to walk up to the park and just be real and authentic and honest with God. And sometimes He'll allow things that happen that will just bring you to your knees. They will change your perspective. They will show your self-dependence or dependence on anything other than God that you may have, that may be in your life. And at the same time, God is also so merciful in drawing us to Himself. Someone once said that pain is like a megaphone where God shouts to us. And I've been going up to the park when I haven't been able to sit still or not knowing what to do, even in 100-degree Fahrenheit days in the middle of summer, just walking up there, not knowing what words to say, but just being honest and real. And even if it's God help me, God have your way. I walked up there, and there was one tree that was actually in the middle of this very dry grass area with a casting a shadow, and it reminded me of God just there in the midst of everything, providing that shelter. And I went under the tree and I just started crying out to God. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel like praying. I didn't feel anything. It can feel pointless at times when you're going through such overwhelm. But I did so in faith, just knowing that what God says in His Word is true, and I'm going to hold to that regardless of what I'm going through. And one verse that I've clung to at this time is Hebrews 11:6. It talks about without faith it's impossible to please God, but it talks about Him being the rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. And I've taken hold of that, and I've endeavoured to come before God for half hour in the morning and half hour after dinner, even when I haven't felt it, even if it means me just sitting there, even when the words in the Bible just look like black and white words and they're not, I'm not feeling anything. I'm choosing to come before Him and to trust Him. And this is all just so completely imperfect as well. This is all just filled with so much confusion and doubt and all of that in the midst of it. But at the same time, just bringing to God what I do have, which is very little and very imperfect, knowing that He will bless that. I recently spoke about Psalm 88, which is the only psalm that it finishes off on a note which isn't one of confidence. It's a dark note. It says, "My companions have become darkness." And I thought, why would God put this in there? And I thought because He's telling us that we can cry out to Him even when we don't feel like we can see a way forward, that we have anything positive. Sometimes we're just at the end of ourselves, and sometimes that can be the best place for us to be, that God can move. And one other verse that has really helped me during this time has been Psalm 39:7. It says, "And now, O Lord, for what do I wait? My hope is in you." And just saying, God, I don't know what I'm waiting for. I don't know what I'm wanting you to do or what's going to happen, but I'm just hoping in you. And just putting one foot forward after another. I remember that I got to a place in 2022 where I was living in such freedom. I remember actually saying in a video that I hardly have a bad emotional moment, let alone day. And it was completely true. That's the place that I was living from, despite having gone through so much. So I can see how God can bring us through, and he can bring us to a deeper place. And I have confidence in God. But at the same time, it's okay when we go through things to struggle. It's okay to bring those struggles before God. And it doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you lack faith. In fact, persevering in the midst of them shows that you do have faith and that you trust him. And knowing that God will refine you, that he is testing your faith, which is more precious than gold. And we always just continue to run into his arms and to trust him. So I don't know what place you're in, and I can only speak very imperfectly on this side of the camera, but I just want you to know that when I'm putting out these videos, there have been things that have been going on in my life over the years. There are things that are going on in my life right now. I'm not speaking from some lofty position, just quoting the Bible to you, saying, yeah, this is truth, just repeating it. No, this is stuff that means something to me. This is stuff that I'm feeling deeply. This is stuff that I've experienced previously, and things that I am pressing into right now. And if you're suffering, if you're going through something, I just want to tell you that I'm right there with you at the moment. And it's okay to sit there. It's okay to be honest with God, to be real with God. It's okay to feel in your emotions like there's no hope. You don't want to hear the empty words of people. Nothing is soothing you. Nothing is bringing you comfort. Nothing is bringing you hope. And it's okay to even be in that place, as we see in Psalm 88. But what I want to say to you is continue to come before God. And even if it means taking out a scripture, I haven't read large parts of the Bible. I've just picked some scriptures that are deep and meaningful to me, and I might share those in another video, and I've just meditated on them, that they are like healing balm to me. And I'm just continuing forward one day at a time. And that's all that we can do. So like I said, I don't know where you're at, friends. And I hope that this video is an encouragement to you. I'm going to put a playlist up on the screen, it's called Matt's Personal Journey. And I share a number of those other specific things that I've spoken about just before that I've gone through previously. And I just pray that all of this together will just help you to feel that you're not alone. That I understand, that I care, and even more importantly, that God understands, that he cares, and he just wants you to come to him at this time. God bless you, friends. Leave your comments below, and I'll talk to you soon.